Yo, guys, we did it. We got to the IronHeart finale. My cats are excited and confused as to why I'm yelling. But guys, we did it. I watched the final 3 episodes of IronHeart. Now, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta be honest with you. So I gave the first 3 episodes a super solid, I think a 7. And you know what? I do still stand by that. I think if I was a little bit more critical, maybe a 6, right? But here's the thing. It's almost not fair, because now that I've watched the new episodes were so bad that it's sort of making me rethink the first 3. But you know, the first 3, that's the first impressions. Guys, cat's out of the bag. All right, I cannot believe how incredibly cringe and bad these episodes were. Oh my word, my cats are jumping around. This was so incredibly cringe. Let me just show you something. Let me show you something, all right? Okay, so right here, I know you're asking, oh, what am I looking at, Grant? What the hell is this? These are my notes, because I take notes while I'm watching whatever I'm watching. Unless I'm in a movie theater, then I write stuff after. So this right here are my IronHeart notes, and I sorted out by positives and negatives. Now let's count out the positives, and we'll talk about them all still. We have 4 positives. Not sure why that auto-corrected. And then there's a lot of negatives. I couldn't with this. I don't understand. I don't understand this show, man. Like in the first 3 episodes, I think a lot of it is I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, oh, they could go this way, they could go this way. But then they hit you with the, nah, we're going that way. And then I'm like, what is this? What is this? Why are we going this way? But let's just talk about it. All right, guys, so here's the thing. Let's go through the positives. I'm not going to go through this. Should I even do a spoiler warning? Guys, don't watch this. This isn't worth it. And I hate saying that. I hate saying that because there's a certain character that is in here. Well, okay, here we go, guys. No spoiler take. It is not good. They introduced one very cool character, but I hate that he was introduced here. There's some very cringy moments involving Ezekiel Stain, which I hate. And that's sort of the thing where I was like, oh, they could go this way with Ezekiel Stain. They could go this way. But they were like, nah. And yeah, and then there's the whole thing of like, oh, magic plus tech. Yo, such a badass idea. She uses magic once. She uses it once. And it's like a basic like video game skill, like just kind of I don't know, guys. I'm gonna give these 3 episodes a super unsolid 4. And I know what you're thinking. For how much you're bitching about it, surely it'd be like a 3. The thing is, it might be a 3. It might be. I don't know. I'm just thinking 4 because I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. There are cool moments. There's some cool action. It's a 3. It's a 3. I can't think of anything. Let's just go through the positives, guys. Spoiler warning now. We're going to go through it. So first positive, and I hate that this is a positive, but it is. Ezekiel Stain's story is easily the most interesting. Out of the entirety of the show, a side character, the son of Obadiah Stane from the first Iron Man movie, who is the only one who knows his father's true intentions, wanting to kill Iron Man, and he's not wanting to fall into his father's footsteps, but you see him slowly be forced into it. He's found out to have all this illegal tech. Then he goes off to jail, and then the Hood's like, join my team. And he's like, all right. And at this point, I'm like, yo, let's go. And I'm going to leave it at that because I'm going to, because I don't want to go into negatives yet, dude. I don't want to go into negatives. Let's just keep it positive. All right. The new suit, the new IronHeart suit, it's sleek. It's really sleek, but the head looks like an air fryer. Like, bro, look at this. Does that not look like an air fryer? Like, you got the little thing on top. Yo, what's up, Justin? Yeah, like it looks like an air fryer. And she made it out of like an old muscle car. I don't know. It's fine, but can we please change the air fryer head? It's just so lame. I hate it. All right, guys, 2 more positives. We're almost there. All right. Magic plus tech is a cool idea. Next, Mephisto. My boy Mephisto, played by, yes, Sarah Baron Cohen, aka Borat, is Mephisto, and he does such a good job. My fiance was very confused as to what was happening, why he had so many different accents, why he was red when he picked up a spoon and you see his reflection. So yeah, I guess I could see that being kind of like a who gives a shit kind of thing if you're not familiar with the character, but being familiar with the character, I am so pumped he's here. I just hate that it's in IronHeart. Why? All right, guys, now on to the negatives. Here we go. So throughout these final 3 episodes, Riri, the main character, still does not believe in magic until like the final 2 episodes. And that just still blows my mind. Like, they know about Doctor Strange and all this stuff. Like, magic has been thrown in front of them. And she's just like, And I get it. It's like, oh, but she's a genius. Then she should figure it out. Yeah. And another this next one's just a little bit of a nitpick, but just every excuse in the book, not getting help from Shuri, you know. And I didn't even think about this in the last episode. That's why I'm thinking like the score would be lower if I went back to it. But there's one point where someone mentions to Riri, why don't you just get help from Shuri? You know, like that was because Riri was in Wakanda Forever and she was teaming up with Shuri. But not at a single point in this show does she ever think, I'll ask my friend. You know, because she's always like, I don't want to be second fiddle to some billionaire. That's why she doesn't want to work for Stark Industries. But like, Shuri's not a billionaire. She just has a lot of access to Wakandan technology. But she's like, no, I'm not doing that. Because the script doesn't want me to. It's just very dumb, you know. And like, yeah, they make the point of like, well, I can't go ask Shuri for help because I'm doing some sketchy stuff. Then explain it to her. It's so dumb. Next up, the whole character arc of Riri. There actually is no character arc. Spoiler. So the whole show, she is a absolute prick to everyone. Every single human being in the show. The guy she likes, she's a dick to. Natalie, her resurrected friend in AI form, she's a dick to. Her mom, she's a dick to. You know, Ezekiel Stain, who gives her tech and helps her out when he doesn't need to, she's a dick to. She never says sorry for getting him in jail. So it's just, I can't root for her because she lies and does super irresponsible things that don't make sense in every episode. Every episode. Like, she's like, okay, well, I don't want to work for Stark Industries because then I'm second fiddle and I have a boss. But I'll work for this criminal organization where I'm second fiddle to a boss. What? That's the same thing. But it's worse. It's insane. It's just so stupid, dude. I don't understand her character. And at the end of the show, she makes a deal with Mephisto. And she's like, resurrect my friend. Resurrect my friend. Because I'm going to be a prick in future projects, which I don't think she's getting, because I hope not. And yeah, Natalie, who was done in by a drive-by at the beginning, she's resurrected. She's resurrected. So yeah, she's selfish, she's rude, she's a prick, she lies, she's just an asshole the whole time. The characters around her are fine. Like her mom, like the actress, I thought did a great job. Ezekiel Stane, like his actor, who I guess I forgot played Han Solo in the Han Solo movie. He does a great job. I wanted to follow his story more, but we focus on this asshole the whole time because it's her show, but I just can't stand her. But let's get into the actual episodes. The first episode, basically, it's Ezekiel getting sent to prison. He gets brought out by the Hood, and then it's Riri freaking out, because she's like, the Hood's after me. Then she goes to her mom's friend's shop, who is familiar with magic. So then she finally starts to believe in magic. And her friend literally has to explain like the plot of the first Doctor Strange movie. And Riri's like, I guess magic could be a thing. It's like, God, you stupid. I can't with this, man. And then she's an asshole to her mom. Her mom's like, why do you keep lying to me? And she's just like, piss off, whatever, who cares? And yeah, I cannot explain enough how much of an asshole she is. And then it's basically her she cut off a piece of the Hood's cloak. She tries destroying it. They can't. She just can't because it's, like from the demon realm. Ezekiel Stane gets taken out of prison, and then it ends with him sitting in a chair and stuff is like getting drilled into his head. And this is where I was like, yo, this is getting interesting. This is getting interesting. Lo and behold, we go to episode 5, right? So karma's a glitch. So what the hell happens in this episode? So basically, so Riri and Zelma from her mom's friend's shop go to White Castle, and the two chicks from the whole criminal gang is sent to White Castle with the mission from Red Hood to kill Riri. So what do they do? They walk into White Castle and they're like, we're gonna kill you, Riri. And then she goes, are you sure about that? And the two, instead of just shooting her, they decide to get into a fist fight with her, only to reveal later on that they do have a gun, and they just decided not to use it, because the script said not to. And then it's literally like a Three Stooges skit where they're like, tripping over. Oh, I tripped on a White Castle sandwich. Whoa. And there's this one part where Clown, the bomb girl, comes in. She's like, I'm gonna kill you, Riri. And then she throws a bomb at Riri. And then Riri holds up a White Castle pan. Like a pan they put sandwiches on. She holds that up. And the bomb, I want you guys to imagine a grenade going right next to you and then blowing up. Now, I want you to imagine how much damage that would do to you. Now, I want you to imagine if you held a baking pan in front of just your face. Now, how much damage will that do to you? If you said the same amount of damage, or worse, because now you have metal stuck in you, you would be correct. Congratulations. Except instead of her legs being blown off, she just gets kind of scooted over a little. And then another bomb goes off, but it gets thrown next to the chick who threw the bomb in the first place. And this explosion is massive. It's boom! Even though it's the same bomb, the same grenade, it goes boom! But she's fine too. Because God forbid anyone dies unless it's off screen. And then, oh yeah, the two chicks that only fight, they only do fisticuffs. They get trapped in one of those protective bubbles she made in a previous episode. And then that's when they reveal that they have a gun. And then they shoot, and then, oh, well, but wait a minute. The bullet didn't escape the bubble. So then they're just stuck in there. And then the drag queen dude tries to run her over. But then she finally gets her iron suit and then punches it. And that's the only suit action that you get for this whole episode, is her punching a car one time. Now I know what you're thinking. You didn't tell me about the suit action in the last episode. That's because there was none. The suit was not in it. Now again, if you go back to my last review, I gave the show some slack because I was like, yo, look, they didn't use the suit much, but that's fine because the last 3 episodes they're gonna roll it out. They don't. Okay? They don't do that. So then Ezekiel Stain shows up, and he beats the shit out of her, tears apart the suit, but then he feels bad for her, and then he lets her live. The whole gang goes back to the hood, and he's like, did you kill her? And Stain is like, yes. And then he's like, Hood's like, I don't believe you. And then the bomb chick is like, yeah, he killed her so bad. Oh my gosh, he did it so bad. And then he's like, the Hood's like, okay, all right. Then they continue on. And yeah, and then Riri's like, I gotta make a new suit, dude. I gotta make a new suit. The Hood basically starts beating the shit out of everyone, out of the whole gang of criminals. So they all leave. Ezekiel Stain leaves, but then he's like, I control you like a RC copter. And then he forces Ezekiel Stain to perform oral. I thought that was a little, I didn't really enjoy that. It was prolonged about 5 minutes. No, but he does force him to just do whatever he wants. So he's like, eat that food, Ezekiel Stain. And then he goes, oh, I can't help it. Like that. Yeah. Wow. I was really hoping that Ezekiel Stain would have been really cool like he is in the comics, but nope. Instead, he's a goon. He's just a goon, a puppet, if you will. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, and then basically at the very end, it's revealed that the Hood went to this mansion. It's like, oh my gosh, the Hood, he's gonna kill his father. That's his father in there. And the reason that he's so money hungry is because his rich dad didn't want him as a kid. And, boo-hoo. That's really sad. And then the episode kind of just ends with Riri making her new suit, but then Natalie, her AI, gets deleted when they infused the suit with magic. Well, I hope it was worth it. I guess it'll depend on how much magic she uses in the next episode, huh? Next episode, the final episode, also the shortest episode of the whole entire show. We have The Past is the Past. All right, so in this one, we get the reveal of Mephisto, easily the best character in the whole show, aside from Ezekiel Stain, Sarah Baron Cohen, I forget his name. The guy who plays Borat. He's incredibly good. And yeah, so at this point, IronHeart shows up with the new suit, and now she beats up Ezekiel Stain, and they have this very funny moment where she kicks him in the balls to reset his like cyborg stuff in his neck, and that makes it so that way he's no longer under mind control. Cool. And then she goes to fight the Hood in what is the actual lamest fight of all time. So this is like a 2-minute fight, and the only suit action we get is she rushes in, and I kid you not, the Hood turns into Morbius. He turns into Morbius, and then turns invisible. But then the only magic she uses is she just does this ground slam, and it makes it so that way he's not invisible anymore. So incredible. And then after that point, he jumps on and does the Morbius thing where he's got claws and he's like ripping into her. He rips apart the suit, but then she's like, final explosion! And then she blows up, sending him flying. So I know what you're thinking. She blew herself up in the iron suit? No, it was a hologram. So there was an explosion, but the suit and her were just a hologram. So where did the explosion come from, you ask? I don't know. I have no idea. And then she reveals herself to be behind him. And then she doesn't even beat him up. She just rips off the cloak. And then he goes, it hurts, it hurts. And she's like, bye. And then she leaves. But then when she walks out, she walks into a mysterious room with Mephisto in it. And then she makes a deal with Mephisto, as I said earlier, to resurrect Natalie. But it's the real Natalie, not the AI Natalie. And that's how the show ends. Actually, no, it's not. The Hood comes back and he goes up to Zelma from the shop. And he's like, you should teach me some magic. And she's like, okay. And then the show ends. What absolute garbage. I hate this so much, man. Like, I try to give these the benefit of the doubt so much. I want this to be cool. I would love to go into this and tell you this is the next Iron Man. Like, this is God tier, but it's not. And I hate it so much for that. It's so lame. Ezekiel Stain literally turns into a Walmart super soldier. It's cringe. He becomes a pushover puppet. The CGI is terrible. When the magic is flowing over her suit, it looks like the Mortal Kombat Annihilation. With maybe not that bad, but like the way the magic is crawling over his suit, I'm like, that took like an hour to make. And there's just no Iron Man influence at all. You know, I kept waiting for some big reveal where it's like, oh my gosh, I tried working for Stark Industries or something, but the only drop that we get is like, oh yeah, the stepdad who got shot, he was really into Iron Man. Never brought up again. So it's like, why is she copying and trying to make a better Iron Man suit? Because it's iconic. I want to be iconic. That's what she keeps saying. I'm iconic. It's just so lame, and it makes me sad. Like, honestly, it makes me sad because I'm like, dude, I want this to be like a cool Iron Man successor, but she's just a bitch, dude. It's insane. Also in the White Castle scene, I wrote a note here. There's no guns or cameras ever. The people who get chased out of White Castle don't call the cops. You never hear cop sirens in the background. So I guess shooting up a White Castle and blowing it to pieces, no one thought to call the cops. That's cool. Also, yeah, it ends on a wet fart. This whole thing's a wet fart. Riri makes a deal with Mephisto, and it just, that's like the final nail in the coffin for me, because it's like, oh, she's an absolute piece of shit the whole time to everyone around her. How is she gonna make it up in the end? She makes a deal with the devil. Cool. Yeah, guys, this is a 3 out of 10. I can't with this. I hate it so much. I hate watching these shitty shows because it pisses me off, because it used to be this thing where a Marvel project comes out and it's like, yo, you haven't watched this? You haven't watched Iron Man? You haven't watched Captain America? What are you doing this weekend? What are you doing this? We need to go now. I'm skipping school for this. But now, honestly, there are shows I still haven't watched. I didn't watch Secret Invasion. I didn't watch Miss Marvel because I was just looking at those and I was like, I can't. I can't. Because it's so depressing, the state that they become. And there are god tier Marvel projects still. Fantastic Four looks really good. Thunderbolts was really good. I loved all that stuff. But then you have like Captain America Brave New World. And it's like, what are you doing? Do you need to pump this out so poorly? I don't understand. And like, who is asking for an IronHeart show? No one. You know, it's like, okay, from the beginning of IronHeart to the end of IronHeart, what all changed? Because she's still, you know, she already had the suit from Wakanda Forever. Now she has a new suit. Her friend's not dead. And she made a deal with the devil. That's it. That's the only changes, the only meaningful changes. And that's something you probably could have established as a side plot in a movie or something. It's just insultingly bad. Guys, I'm sorry to make this one so negative. But anyway, the next show that I'm going to be watching is Eyes of Wakanda. And that one is more of a what if scenario. In terms of animation, not in terms of the actual show. I think it's like past Wakanda stuff. So I don't think it's going to play much of a big role in the MCU, but I'm still excited to watch it. And then it's Alien Earth, which I am very excited for. So guys, follow, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching if you got to the end. And yeah, just check out all of my other stuff. I'm pumped to do all this. Hope you enjoyed the rant. And I'll be seeing you guys on the next episode of Grant Guy Reviews. See ya.